Well, hello, friends, and welcome to the 327 Experience, which, again, as a reminder, this is the podcast ministry of the Mountain Springs Church here in the upstate of South Carolina. Welcome. We're so glad that you joined us today. And just as a reminder, if you haven't subscribed to the podcast, but you're listening to it, just reach up, hit that subscribe button. And then also when you're finished, hit that like button, because that certainly helps us out as well. But we are glad that you're here. We have a great podcast today. Excited about it. We have a great guest. He's been on one other time with us, and we got on his schedule for the fall. And we have our lead pastor, Dr. Benjamin Smoke, is joining us today. So, Pastor, welcome. We're really glad to have you, and thanks for making time.
Absolutely, man. It's my pleasure to be here.
And I do want to start, as I did the last time. Tell us what's going on with the Smoke family and how things are going. Obviously, school started.
So we are wide open. Andrew's a senior this year, so everything's senior. So we're leaning into that and just enjoying that process. He's our first senior, so first time we've had a senior, so excited. Kaylee started high school, so that's a whole different conversation. It is, because guys and girls are completely different. That's Andrew, of course, was football and just trudged through and did his thing. Kaylee is all about every social aspect of high school, and so it's a new adventure. Even though we've done high school before, it's a little different with a girl. So.
And both of them are in extracurricular activities, right?
So Andrew's football, Kaylee's basketball and softball, so keeping things busy. And then Amanda, of course, started her 25th year of teaching, so 7th grade math, and
so there's no off season.
There is no off season. It was a great summer, but just We like routine and structure, so fall was good.
And then from a church standpoint, obviously I've got insight into this, right? Because we're going at 150 miles an hour, and that's on slow days.
Right.
And so one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about this evening and give you an opportunity to tell us about is anything that's going on as we get ready to close out not only our church year, but we're getting close to closing out the year, right? So talk to us a little bit about that.
So we're in that final stretch. Our church year runs September 1st to August 31st. So we're ramping down, but ramping up. Basically closing one out, and there's not really a gap much. It's just straight into the new church year. So September the 7th is kind of the date we circle on the calendar as our kickoff. That's Vision Sunday. Of course, last year we just spent some time revisioning as a staff. Last year we had our first Vision Sunday, rolled that out. It was a tremendous day. We really look back as a staff as that was kind of like the jumping off point for us as a church. Really saw a lot of momentum coming out of that. And so just really excited about what year 2 of that vision looks like. We just had our leadership dinner with our deacons, our trustees, finance team, personnel team, and our staff, and just able to just kind of cast vision to the leadership as we prepare for the fall. And man, it's just it's fun, it's exciting, it's wide open. But so that's going to be a huge day. So if you're not a part of Mountain Springs, that would be a great day to be here.
Because you're going to hear a lot about the church.
Yeah, right now, and even jumping into the one thing that we've been able to do this year, which is new for us because we're in year 2 of the vision, is we've used August as kind of a lead up. So just kind of that refresher of here are our core values. So when we hit September 7th, it's not this is who we are. Like we've already gone over why we do what we do, and now it's how can we embrace year 2.
Mm-hmm. One of the things that I'll tell you a carryover from the last Vision Sunday that we had. I think it's when this happened. But the last Vision Sunday, we gave out T-shirts, if I'm not mistaken. And it had our vision on it. They were a very unique color. And a year later, I guess getting close to a year later, I see those shirts all over town. As a matter of fact, I was at Ingles, which is our grocery store. For someone that's maybe not be from this area. I was at Ingles a couple weeks ago. And as I was walking through the aisles, I saw the color of the shirt. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure that's our Vision shirt. And so I went up, sure enough, it was somebody from our church. So the Vision's getting out in a lot of ways.
Well, and we may or may not, have a little gift for folks, but you got to come Vision Sunday to see.
Okay, just for the record, double X. Double X. Awesome. Well, that's exciting news. What else is going on?
So just a lot of, with growth, which we've seen growth. I mean, that's a great thing, growth in ministry. We've seen just worship. I know you've done one recently, a podcast with our staff. So we've just seen growth throughout our worship ministry, and Sunday morning gatherings have grown out of that, have become a necessitated a need for additional small groups. And so we've got a young adult small group that's launching, which I'm excited about. We've identified about 20 to 25 kind of recent high school graduates, kind of the mid-20s, anything from not married to dating to engaged to recently married. And so that's just a great population in our church that we're seeing and we want to really pour into. And so a young couple that are new to our church, been here about a year, just felt led to start that and birth that. And so they're launching that out the end of August, just kind of a social get together. Hey, this is kind of what our vision is for this. It's going to be very laid back, but targeting that group. So I'm super excited about that group. I think that's going to be beneficial for us.
Yeah, it's really worth getting excited about. And I'll tell you, from my experience, and I'm sure you share this as well, that age group, like the day after high school till probably that 25-ish type age, those folks are really trying to find their place, right? And what I've seen in a lot of churches is that is a lost age group that a lot of churches are out there just trying to capture and keep them coming back, because you turn 18, you're going to college or you're going to go to work, and then you're gone from church, right? And so since we're launching that, that's going to fill such a need for us, because it is, or it can be, such a lost age group.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so that's our goal, is just to love on them, to empower that couple that are leading that. Jake and Danny Harrelson are leading that. And so to empower them, resource them, and just pour whatever we can into making that group a success.
I know I have two daughters that fit in that category, and both of them are very excited about it, because again, they get out of high school and it's like, what's next for me, especially from a church perspective. So that's great news. One of the questions that I have, it's kind of talking about new growth, but we started something some time ago, and it's called Experience Mountain Springs. And I've had the opportunity to join several of those, from the early days and I say early days, it's been over the last year plus, I guess, but from the early days and seeing how it's evolved. And I was at the latest one, which was, I guess, maybe a week and a half ago, 2 weeks ago Sunday. And I was so impressed, not only with the participation from new folks that are attending our church, but just the quality of what's being presented to them, that prior to Experience Mountain Springs, there really wasn't a format. Would you spend a few minutes and talk about that?
Yeah, so that's one of those things that we birthed, Experience Mountain Springs, as we continue to see growth. We wanted to have just really an on-ramp for folks coming into our church. So one, they knew who we were, knew what we were about, and but also it gave us opportunity to just spend some one-on-one time with our staff, our leadership, because, guests oftentimes, they get in, they get out. And so just having that one-on-one time with staff and leadership does not always happen early on. And so I think if there's a disconnect there, then there potentially could be a disconnect from the church as a whole long term. So we don't want people just to drop in, stay a year or two, and leave. We want folks to find a place, plug in, and stay for the long haul. And so through Experience Mountain Springs, it's just been a growth process, and our goal is to continue to grow it. The vision has helped give us some, I think, just really some things to wrap our arms around and hold on to. That's helped with the presentation of it. Just trying to include some different aspects. And even coming out of that one, there were some things that we identified. Hey, these are some areas that we can improve that'll help us going forward. But it's been one of those things that has not been a lot of long-term investment. I mean, we did a lot of work on the front end to get it ready. But, it's just kind of one of those things, kind of just continue to do it, and we'll continue to see folks come through. And it's just been a really good bang for our buck.
That's exciting. It's really exciting because, again, I've been in several churches, having moved a few times, and some churches do it well, but most churches, from an onboarding standpoint, they struggle in that area. And it's not because they intend to struggle. They just don't have the skill set, or they don't have the knowledge on what to do. Right. And I left Experience Mountain Springs last Sunday, having participated in it, and I asked myself the question, I'm like, what would I want to know more than what I received? And there was very few things that came to my mind. You just really walk away with a history of the church, association of the church. I love the fact that all of our staff stands up, introduces himself, talks about their ministry. You talk about volunteering, the requirements for volunteering, how to get engaged. I just think it's a great, great entry point for anyone, whether or not you're going to join our church or you just want to know more about it.
Yeah, we've had folks that have come, and it's taken them a while. And, so they're like, I come, I want to know more about the church. And, later on, they join. We've had folks that come, before they're walking out, they're handing you the card. And we've had some folks that have come, and, they've come through the Experience Mountain Springs and have not joined, but they're still worshiping. And And, so it's not a thing that we want to force anybody to do anything. We just want to, hey, be transparent. This is who we are. This is our desire as a church, our vision, but also our expectations. Like, we want you to be a part, but we don't want you to just come sit. We want you to come and serve.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm going to put you on the spot with this question.
Right.
Should be a home run, but I'll put you on the spot. And that is, it's a statement plus a question.
Okay.
The statement is this. A couple weeks ago, we did the fun podcast that you were there for the last little bit of it, right? And thank you for doing that. It was fun. But it was basically get to know you with the staff. One of the things, again, having been here, I'm on my 10th year of being here, just completed 9 years. My family did. And I don't know if I've seen the stability in our staff like I'm seeing it today. Not that we've had instability, right? But it just seems like that there's not been holes to fill.
Yeah.
And it seems like that team is really cohesive. I mean, all of us have opportunity to improve, but I consistently hear from folks in our church just how pleased they are with the staff, how engaged the staff is, how the ministries are just really flourishing, still with opportunity, but moving in the right direction. Here's the question. How did you do it?
So, well, one, it wasn't me. It's interesting. So I'll kind of answer that question with kind of a teaser for a follow-up to this. This is our 165th year of ministry. We'll celebrate that in October. And our ministry assistant, Roxanne, and I were talking today. She was looking through some historical things, and she just found, like, the number of pastors that had been here. I think she found the 125th celebration, and it listed out the pastors, and there was like 29 pastors in 125 years. So she's doing the math, and that's average of about 3 years per pastor.
Wow.
And so she's like, she's doing math, and she said, but I've been here 13. So her joke was that I've way overstayed my welcome, based on that. But I think one thing that we're seeing as a church, and I think it's not just Mountain Springs, it's a cultural shift, is I remember when I first got in ministry, the average tenure of a pastor in a Southern Baptist church was probably year and a half, 2 years. 3 was like long tenured. But I think you're seeing that shift because guys are realizing there's something special about when you put down roots. When you look at Mountain Springs, one of the neat things not only about our staff and the stability is where our staff came from. Aside from Grady and I, all of our staff were members here. And so there was buy-in from a personal level, like I want my family to be here. And then as they grew, we got to know them and God birthed this team, put it together. I fully believe that. The cohesiveness of it, like I said, we all identify areas. There's things we could do better here, there, whatever, but the cohesiveness of the team to try to get better in everything we do is something that I'm proud of. And I think that it's not about any one person. It's about the team that's working together and also the support of the church that, in a lot of ways has been willing to follow. And so I think as we move into that celebration of 165 years of ministry, that's something to kind of hang our hat on looking forward of like, if we want to continue this trajectory, the one thing we've got to make sure is that there's cohesiveness among the staff, but also folks that are bought in and are willing to kind of put down roots.
Yeah, so a couple of thoughts on that. The first thought is the tenure of pastors. I grew up in a time when the model was like you described. Pastors would come in. A lot of times they were younger pastors, so they would come in and they would spend their 2 years, maybe 3 years if you're lucky. Then you would quit your way to that next promotion. Then you'd quit your way to the next promotion. And, in a few years, you may be pastoring a larger church versus someone that says, I'm going to own this, right? God planted me here. I'm going to flourish and grow where I've been planted. So I'm glad to hear that model seems to be shifting among current pastors and new pastors coming on board. And then the last thing I'll tell you about a statistic that I just read, and you may debate me on this statistic, but this statistic says that at the 13-year mark, when a senior pastor is there, then the model works best when they double that time to 26 years. So I guess my expectation and hope would be 26 years from you.
26. I'm 46 now, so talking 59.
Yeah, I think that's more than reasonable. Now, I do want to tell the truth and stand in church. I've never heard of that model before, but I would like to think it works. I'd like to invite you to stay for 26 years.
I appreciate
all
that.
right, fair enough.
Speaking on behalf of the church.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. There might be one or two, but absolutely. No, seriously. The model that you said, as far as growing up the leaders, growing up not just leaders, but growing up your staff in the church, I mean, that just makes so much sense.
Yeah, and if you look, if you look at like theological institutions, you look at our colleges, our seminaries, guys that are coming out and wanting and feeling called to pastor, that number is small in comparison to guys that feel called to mission field, guys that feel called to lead worship, whatever. So the pool to pull from is small, but then on the back end, you see the baby boomer generation, those guys are at retirement. So there's a large group that's getting ready to kind of exit, but there's a small pool that's getting ready to enter. And so I think that's a question the church as a whole, Big C Church, is going to have to ask and wrestle with, like, where are we going to find our next leaders? And my argument would be raise them up. Education, I'm a huge advocate for education, but I think you raise up guys and educate them, send them to school, help them get the education they need, but raise them up.
Yeah, and again, we've seen it work here. So it's nothing that we're talking
100%.
about in theory.
Right.
You've been practicing that for several years, and now we're seeing a stable staff, and our church is really benefiting from that with growth and stability.
Yeah.
What else?
So I guess our big thing, two things kind of as we round out the fall, is 165 years. So October the 13th, we're doing just basically a birthday celebration, and we're doing outside worship service that Sunday, and there's going to be a lot of neat things as we celebrate 165 years. One of the neat things is that in September, we're rolling out just a big push for Legacy 1860, which we've talked about, is just really our push, not just to pay off the debt on this building, but also look at other legacy projects that will help us be sustainable as a church in the future. But one of the big legacy projects that will help us get to those goals quicker is to reduce the debt and pay off the debt on this building. So on that Sunday, as we celebrate 165 years, our goal is to be debt-free by the end of the year. We're in a position where we think basically with our giving and to pay the payments and an in-kind gift we've already received, we're at about the $200,000 mark that we need. And so we're praying and believing big things that day that we're going to have committed to give by the end of this year, fiscal year 2025, $200,000 committed on that day. And so that's a huge day for us. And then that's just going to propel us into just a full season of ministry, because coming off of that, you got Fall Festival. After Fall Festival, you got Thanksgiving. So we have church-wide Thanksgiving service, which is one of my favorites. Just our church coming together on a Sunday night for a meal and just to give thanks, but to fellowship. And then we come right out of that, share Thanksgivings the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, where we feed Piedmont, which is always a huge event, and we believe it's going to even grow bigger this year. Coming straight out of that, we go into Pancakes with Santa, which was a new ministry we started last year. We coupled our breakfast in Piedmont with the Piedmont Christmas Parade. Santa Claus is at the bridge. It's just a really neat thing for kids. And so we come out of that, and we got, Nathan's got some Christmas worship stuff that we're going to be doing throughout the month of December, and then straight into Christmas Eve, which I know is probably your favorite service of the year.
Absolutely, it is. Absolutely.
So, I mean, it's literally from September 7th, Vision Sunday, through Christmas Eve it's just one right after the other. And on top of that, you've got different ministries, got events going on, a lot of things happening with Boutique in Piedmont, Bridge in Piedmont, Good News Club, feeding our athletic teams. So it is a slam-packed fall.
We have 3 campuses.
Yes.
And those campuses are staying busy every single week.
Yes.
I was sharing with someone the other day, I can't even remember who it was. May have been a family member, I can't recall though. But I was sharing with them that our church does more ministry outside of the 4 walls of our main campus, which is where we're at today, than it does anywhere else, right? Yeah. I mean, obviously we have our services during the week here, but our ministry really takes place in the halls, in the highways, in the hedges, as Christ said, right?
Yep.
And so that's exciting when a church is like that, is not inward focused.
Right.
So we've got a lot of opportunity.
Yeah.
And if folks want to be part of any of that, all they have to do is reach out and talk to either the ministry leader or.
So all they got to do is come right here. We're sitting in the hub.
We are.
And so this is we created this spot for easy access. We want this to be a one-stop shop. So if you're at any worship gathering, you stop by here, one of our great First Impressions folks will help you get the information you need or get you to the person that you need. So you don't have to reach out. You just got to show up.
That's it.
Right? Show up, worship, and stop by, grab some good coffee,
Good coffee.
And good fellowship, and we'll get you pointed in the right direction.
Yeah, so thanks for calling out the hub, because I forgot to do that at the beginning.
Yeah, we are here. I mean,
we are. We're on our main campus, but we're not in our studio, which is upstairs. We're actually, as Pastor said, we're at the hub, which is in the foyer. So it's where you stop. You can get coffee, you can get a pastry, you get all the information. You can sign up for baptismal. You can ask questions about ministry. So when you join us, your first stop is the hub. Whether you're a person that comes every week, a longtime member, or it's your first week, this is your stopping point to get plugged in and get your coffee and get ready for worship.
Absolutely.
Anything else from you?
Man, thank you. Y'all doing a great job on the podcast. It's neat to see how God's growing this ministry.
We're enjoying it. We're enjoying it. Nathan and Sean are doing a great job, and I show up. So they're actually, I'm seeing them right now. So they're saying, finally, he tells the truth. So thank you, Pastor.
Absolutely.
Always a privilege.
Yep.
And just my last comment, I wasn't joking about that 26 years. Thank you, everyone. I closed out that conversation really fast. Thank you, everyone, for joining us again on the 327 Experience. We love having you here. Thank you for watching, and make sure you do two things for me, friends. Number one, if you have any questions, if you want more information, you can always go to our website, which is housed with everything that we've spoken about there. And the second thing, don't forget to make sure to subscribe to this podcast, the 327 Experience. We'll see you next time, and have a great rest of your day.